Hey, what's going on, y'all? I wanted to make this video real quick because I just finished my workout, so I thought I'd let it out real quick. There's a lot of stuff that I put in the back of my mind, and it builds up. So I think this is a good, like, how would you say, composition or diary, initially to just let it all out. And a lot of those things being, what's going on in society, the differences, the labels, and accepting yourself. And for me, the big one right now is just accepting myself. Everything outside can't really affect you unless you're not whole within yourself. So if you're whole within yourself, then nothing externally can really get to you as a person because you're cool with yourself. You don't need anyone or anything. You don't need anyone's confirmation or approval. If you're cool with who you are, if you're just, I'm gonna build myself up. All right, I accept myself, I love myself. For the longest time, I feel like a lot of my emotions, I always contradicted myself, always. Every time I spoke to someone, I was always contradicting myself, like always correcting myself, and that's weak. No matter how you look at it, if you're a man or a woman, whatever you are, you're contradicting what you're saying, you're a weak person. You're always, you're like, well, I meant this, oh, no, I meant that, or you're just always stopping yourself, correcting yourself before anyone else has the how would you say, the option or just have the ability to correct you. You do it before you do it, before they can do it, because you don't look like a fool. You gotta understand, you gotta be willing to look like a fool if you're gonna grow as a person. That's just what it is. And let me talk to you about the perspective on what you're feeling and how it's not a bad thing. You just need to change your perspective on it. And the same thing about perspectives is all about life. You see, life in society, we're given a perspective. Let's say I'm with this party, then I'm seeing things through everyone's perspective. Now I'm with this party, so my perspective differs from their perspective. Therefore, we're at odds with each other. Go within yourself and realize you were born for a certain reason. You were born for a certain perspective, for your perspective. Your perspective does not have to be in alignment with everyone else's perspective. You know what I mean? Your perspective has to be in alignment with who your higher self, who you really are. Just because everyone's thinking one thing, you're afraid to think something else. So you're gonna automatically go along with them. That's a weak person. That's a weak person. You can't think for yourself. It's that simple. If you agree with it, and you 100% feel that that's your perspective, that's your reason, then by all means knock yourself out. Who am I to judge you? Who am I to judge you? Well, that's not what I'm saying is. I'm saying life's all about perspective. So don't look at one thing from your perspective. An enemy, quote unquote enemy, even an enemy within us. Don't look at it from a good perspective either. You gotta look at it from every perspective. Open-mindedness. If you can't even be open-minded and love yourself from every perspective, every angle, what makes you think you're dead with anyone else? It's not possible. We're stuck in a society where you just have, no, it's my perspective. This is my way. I'm right, you're wrong. I'm this, even though I didn't choose to be this, I'm this. Or you know what I mean? I'm this, so you're wrong because you're contradicting me. Perspective. Open your eyes to it. What are you? What are we? What is the perspective to life? What is your perspective when you look in yourself and you realize that the person who you think is quote unquote evil within you, look at it from another perspective. Oh, why am I feeling this? Oh, I'm feeling this because of this. Maybe I should avert this attention, this energy to something positive. Because I'm looking at it from the same perspective over and over, and I'm getting the same results, and I'm expecting change, but I'm looking at it from the same perspective. So we're in an endless loop of hatred, because no one's changing the perspective on things. Just because I see this and someone else sees different, doesn't mean we have to be at odds with each other. Why can't I open my mind to what they're seeing and realize, oh man, so that's how they saw it. I shouldn't be so offended, because that's how they saw it from their perspective. I understand. Now I'm doing that for you. Can you do that for me? Can you see things from my perspective and we can have an understanding? Think about it. Can we have an understanding, an understanding with each other? Can we accept and love each other because I see things different and you see things different? Same thing with the internal warfare. You know, this is all internal too. That's the main thing. Just because I feel a certain way about other things and I feel a certain way about other things too. And you know, that is in line with what I think is right. And I'm not justifying anything at all. I'm just saying, when you look within yourself and you realize, well, you're doing this, but in your book that's evil, or not evil, but just, you know what I mean? And you're like, I need to look at things from a different perspective and be more loving with myself. You know, let's say, and let's say, this is an example. Let's say someone's addicted to drugs or something. They're looking at it from a perspective of, I can't shake it because I'm addicted. Change your mindset that drugs, you have an addictive personality. You're addicted to your habits. Apply new habits. And I'm not saying it's gonna be that easy to just cut off drugs, you know what I mean? But what I'm saying is, you have a gift. Little do you know, you have a gift that you're addicted. It's a double-edged sword gift. What is a double-edged sword? Meaning, you can apply that to something better. Instead of being addicted to dopamine, to this drug, to whatever it is, your old bad habits, it's a gift to change that around to a good habit. And it's not that simple. You know, you have to have a drive, a motive. You have to at least throw it out there and it's gonna come back to you and it's gonna be a process. Like me, I'm still going through my process. What I'm saying is, change your mindset. Like, okay, I have an addictive personality. I know what I need to do, because if I do this, I'm screwed. Because I'm an addicted personality. This is me. So if I apply it to these things, then I'm gonna be addicted to that, and that's gonna be I'm gonna feel accomplished. Therefore, I am set. I'm good with who I am. Like me, I'd be the worst crackhead. I'm gonna be purposely. I'm gonna say that. I'm throwing that out there because I'm so addicted. Like, I'm so addictive. That's who I am. I'm addictive. So if I change my mindset, you know, I love the pain of working out. I love it. It hurts, but I love it. I changed my mindset. I'm addicted to this because that's my mindset. I can't be happy if I'm not doing my habits, my pattern. Your same patterns, those are the ones that are gonna define you based off your little actions. You gotta implement little habits like that. All right, I'm addicted. Change it. I'm addicted. I'm addicted to doing this. You know, you gotta take breaks once in a while, of course. Learn how to pace and love yourself. At the same notion, change your mindset, change your perspective, and you'll change your reality. It's gonna be a process, but you're gonna notice. Like, it's gonna be, no one needs to write it out for you. In your heart and your mind, you see it. I'm telling you, what I see now, the world I see now, is not the same world I see a year or 2 years ago. It's a whole different world. Whole different world. I'm 21. I was like 19 when I started doing this. I'm 21. I don't see the world the same. I don't. I've progressed that much within that little time because of my addictive mindset, my addictive personality, my perspective on it. Instead of saying it's a bad thing, I'm forever gonna be screwed because I'm addicted, I implemented to something better. I implemented something more positive, something that I love, you know? It's like I said in my first video, you put pain before pleasure. You control your pain, therefore you control your pleasure. I control my pain. I love the pain. I love the pain of working out because I know the pleasure is going to be so much more worth it. Muhammad Ali said, suffer now and become the greatest, you know, later. Or I'm not quoting it wrong. I know I always do these things, but that's pretty much sums it up from what I've read. Yeah, you suffer now and you become the greatest. You can be the greatest later. Or I think I'm quoting that one wrong, but I'm not contradicting myself. Just that is what it is. Anyways, yeah, change your perspective on yourself in the internal world, therefore the external world will change itself for you. You attract what you are. You never have to chase what you are. It's always gonna come to you when the time's right. Trust yourself, trust your process, and you're gonna know everything I'm saying is like, damn. You know what I mean? Just apply it to your life. I'm sure you know a lot of these things yourself, but be more caring, open-minded, trust the process. Even though you're not there yet, trust that you're gonna get there. Enjoy the time that you have now, because you're gonna get there. Just enjoy what you have now. That's the main lesson of life. Enjoy what you have now. That's really all it is. If you know what I mean? When my grandma was still alive, my cat, I should have enjoyed them more. But that's life. And I'm not saying I regret anything, you know, we all did the best we could. It's just that's what life is, man. You don't know what you got till it's gone. My eyes are always focused on the goal, and I'm glad for that. I'm grateful for that. Therefore, I can keep moving forward. At the same notion, take a time to sit back and smell the flowers. Appreciate what's around you, because everything's temporary. At least in this world. We'll see what happens in the next. But anyways, stay true to yourself, stay true to your higher purpose, and keep moving forward. Thank y'all, and I love you. I'm out. Watch me become the greatest, and you can become the greatest too.